Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Imagine an invisible artist, one that can compose a symphony from silence, paint a masterpiece from a few descriptive words, and write a story so compelling you can't tell if a human or a machine wrote it. This isn't science fiction. This is the world of generative artificial intelligence, or generative AI, a revolutionary technology that is actively participating in the very act of creation. It's reshaping art, music, writing, and our entire relationship with information. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to understand this technological marvel, where it came from, how it works, and the profound impact it's having on our world. Generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that doesn't just analyze data. It creates brand new content. We're talking text, images, videos, audio, and even computer code. It learns the underlying patterns from vast amounts of human-created content, and then uses that knowledge to generate something entirely new, often indistinguishable from what a person could make. So, how does this digital magic actually work? At its heart, generative AI relies on complex systems called neural networks, which are inspired by the structure of the human brain. Think of them as layers of interconnected digital neurons that process information and learn to spot patterns. While early AI like the 1960s chatbot Eliza was interesting, it was mostly rule-based. The real breakthrough for modern generative AI came from two key innovations. The first is something called a Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN, introduced back in 2014. This is a fascinating concept. A GAN consists of two dueling neural networks, a generator and a discriminator. The generator's job is to create fake data, let's say an image of a person who doesn't exist. The discriminator's job is to act like an art critic and determine if the image is real or a fake created by the generator. This creates a competition. The generator gets better and better at creating realistic fakes to fool the critic, and the discriminator gets better and better at spotting them. This constant back and forth pushes the generator to create incredibly sophisticated and authentic-looking results. In fact, GANs were behind the famous portrait of Edmond de Bellamy, the first AI-generated artwork to be sold at a major auction. The second pillar of modern AI is the transformer model, introduced by Google researchers in 2017. Their paper was famously titled, "Attention is all you need." Before transformers, models processed information sequentially, like reading a sentence one word at a time. Transformers can look at the entire sentence, or even a whole document, all at once. They use a mechanism called self-attention to weigh the importance of different words and understand their context. This ability to grasp context is what powers the large language models, or LLMs, that are so prevalent today. Models like OpenAI's GPT series, which is the engine behind ChatGPT, are built on this transformer architecture. They are pre-trained on enormous datasets of text and code, allowing them to generate human-like text, translate languages, and answer our questions. Now that we have a sense of the technology, let's explore where it's making the biggest waves. The creative industries are experiencing a digital renaissance. Artists, musicians, and writers are using these new AI tools as collaborators and assistants. This isn't about replacing human creativity. It's about augmenting it. In the art world, platforms like Midjourney and DALL-E can turn a simple text prompt, like a photorealistic astronaut riding a horse on Mars, into a stunning visual artwork. This has democratized digital art creation, allowing anyone to bring their ideas to life. Artists are using these tools to brainstorm concepts, rapidly iterating through different designs. AI's ability to combine styles is also leading to entirely new aesthetics, like the surreal, dreamlike images from Google's Deep Dream. We're even seeing large-scale immersive art installations, like those by artist Refik Anadol, who uses generative algorithms to turn massive datasets into mesmerizing visual experiences. Some have even used AI to reimagine the past. The next Rembrandt project analyzed the Dutch master's entire body of work to create a brand new painting in his signature style, raising fascinating questions about authorship and art itself. Many artists see it as a collaboration. The human provides the creative prompt and curates the output, making the final piece a product of both human and machine intelligence. Music is also being harmonized with AI. While computer-generated music has been around since the 1950s, modern models are on another level. They can compose original melodies, harmonies, and even full orchestral pieces. For musicians, this can be a powerful tool to overcome writer's block. Stuck for a chord progression? The AI can generate dozens of ideas in seconds. Generative AI is also being used to create dynamic soundtracks for video games or personalized workout playlists that adapt in real time to your activity. We're seeing direct collaborations, like artist Taryn Southern, who created an entire album with an AI partner, blending her human vocals with AI-generated compositions. Of course, this also brings up ethical questions. You might have heard about the controversial AI-generated track that sounded like Drake featuring a synthesized Tupac voice. This highlights serious concerns around copyright and the unauthorized use of an artist's voice and style. Perhaps the most profound impact is on the written word. Large language models can generate everything from poems and stories to articles and scripts. Authors are using AI to brainstorm plot points or generate rough first drafts that they can then refine. Some educators even encourage students to use AI as a personalized tutor to better understand complex literary concepts. This collaboration is giving rise to new forms of hybrid writing, where the lines of authorship are blurred. However, the writing community has valid concerns. The Authors Guild, for example, has raised alarms about copyrighted books being used to train AI models without permission or compensation, and the potential for a flood of AI-generated content to devalue the work of human authors. While AI text can sometimes lack the nuance and emotional depth of a human writer, its ability to synthesize information at incredible speed is undeniable. The future of writing will likely be a symbiotic relationship between human authors and their AI assistants. Beyond the creative arts, generative AI is fundamentally altering how we find and consume information. This is a true double-edged sword. On one hand, it could lead to a golden age of knowledge access. Instead of sifting through pages of search results, you can get a direct, synthesized answer to your question. In the workplace, this means automating routine tasks, freeing up employees to focus on more strategic work, potentially leading to huge productivity gains. In education, AI tutors can provide personalized instruction tailored to each student's learning style. And in science, researchers are using AI to analyze massive data sets, accelerating discoveries in fields like medicine and material science. This all sounds fantastic, but there's a significant dark side. The very power that makes AI so good at creating convincing content also makes it a terrifyingly potent tool for spreading misinformation and disinformation. The ability to generate realistic-looking fake news articles, deepfake videos, and deceptive social media posts at a massive scale is a serious threat to our information ecosystem and even our democratic processes. We're seeing the rise of what's been called pink slime journalism, where entire websites that look like legitimate news sources are filled with AI-generated, biased, or completely fabricated stories. And then there are deepfakes. The ability to create a convincing video of a public figure saying something they never said can be used to destroy reputations and spread false narratives with alarming speed. The overall effect is an erosion of trust. When we can no longer easily distinguish what's real from what's fake, public trust in legitimate news sources and institutions begins to crumble. Combating this requires a multi-pronged approach, from developing AI-powered fact-checking tools to investing heavily in media literacy education so we can all become more critical consumers of information. This brings us to the ethical maze we must navigate. One of the biggest challenges is bias. AI models are trained on data created by humans, and that data contains all of our existing societal biases. The AI learns these biases and can even amplify them. For example, if an AI tool for screening resumes is trained on historical hiring data where men were favored for certain roles, the AI might learn to unfairly penalize female candidates. This can lead to real-world discriminatory outcomes in hiring, loan applications, and even criminal justice. Addressing this requires a massive effort to build more diverse and representative training datasets and to develop methods for auditing and correcting bias in AI models. Then there's the question on everyone's mind: what about jobs? The potential for generative AI to automate a wide range of cognitive tasks has raised fears of widespread job displacement. While some experts believe AI will mostly augment human abilities and create new types of jobs, others predict significant job losses, especially in fields that involve routine cognitive work. The reality will likely be a complex mix of both. What is certain is that there will be a massive need for workers to reskill and adapt to a changing job market. With a technology this powerful and fast-moving, regulation is lagging far behind. There is a growing consensus that we need legal frameworks to address the risks. Issues like data privacy, copyright, accountability for AI-generated harms, and the prevention of misuse all need to be addressed. The European Union's AI Act is one of the first major attempts to create a comprehensive regulatory framework, categorizing AI systems based on their level of risk and placing stricter rules on high-risk applications. So what does the road ahead look like? Generative AI is a technology of immense power and potential. It can unlock new frontiers of human creativity, accelerate scientific progress, and make information more accessible than ever. But it also presents enormous challenges. The key moving forward will be to foster a culture of responsible innovation. This means developers must prioritize ethical guidelines. We must invest in research to better understand and mitigate the risks of bias and misinformation. We need to promote public education to help everyone critically evaluate AI-generated content. And we need a global conversation about the societal implications of this technology to ensure it's used for the benefit of all humanity. The story of generative AI is still being written. It's a story of human ingenuity, unprecedented creative potential, and profound societal challenges. How that story unfolds will depend on the choices we make today. By embracing the power of this technology, while remaining vigilant about its risks, we can ensure that generative AI becomes a true partner in our collective journey of creativity and discovery. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.